Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this evening's Lebanon Redevelopment Commission meeting. We will go ahead and call ourselves to order and begin, as we do with each meeting, with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which one nation under God, indivisible, with
Right, and Madam Clerk, the only one not present this evening is Mr. Keith Campbell. He is excused for the evening. We'll move right on to the approval of the minutes. So I believe everyone received a copy of the minutes from our October meeting. That was, again, October 15th. So if there's no discussion, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes.
Got a motion? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify with an aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That does carry. Thank you very much. Moving down to old business, I show no old business on our agenda, so we will move directly into new business. And the first item we have up this evening is a facade grant request for 109-111 North Meridian Street. And Mr. Derek Warren is going to give us a little bit of background.
Sorry, I've had some technical difficulties with getting my iPad to connect, so I'm going to go old school here tonight. Okay, 109-111 North Meridian Street is the building on the left with the new blue awning. So let me give you the rundown here. Palladium Property Management LLC, Chris Valentine is the applicant. At the HPC meeting on October 3rd, received approval for a complete facade restoration. So those of you not familiar with the what I'm showing you here, this is the Lebanon Ballet building that is in desperate need of some TLC, and our knight in shining armor is here tonight. So this building is at the point where it's being saved. So it's a great thing. So again, at the October 3rd, 2024 HPC meeting, they received a COA for a complete facade restoration, which is new storefront, new windows, first floor and second floor, new awnings, brick restoration, which includes tuck pointing and brick replacement, new alley door for the second floor space, and I'll show you a picture of that as well, in the redo here, and demolition of the rear addition, which is, if you've seen the back of the building, it's basically caving in on itself. So it will be nice to see all of that done. There is a pretty picture of the front of what the proposal is to look like. Let me give you, this is north facing side, the alley side. You can see that new door cut right there, almost in the middle of the building. So that will access a airlock space, which then opens up to what is the stairwell that goes up to the second space. And the stairwell kind of runs up this direction and this direction. So you'll come in this door right here, come into like a common area, and then you'll be able to go up to the second story ballet space. The rear of the building, after the lean-to addition is removed, will be very clean. That will be the look right there. You'll have a second access to the first floor space and a second door access to what is the egress, to the second story space as well. That space on the side that says Lebanon Ballet School will access that common area that I spoke about from that side door. Just for the public, this is kind of an idea of what exactly is going on with the front and the back. I'm not going to show the side. I'll start going over the numbers here. Sorry, it's much more efficient to flip through a screen than put paper up. So there is the estimate breakdown. It's technical difficulties tonight. Read off this. Okay, so the facade restoration renovation project, 109, 111 North Meridian Street. The low bid total is $233,172.80, and the high bid is $308,969.04. And the way that breaks down is on your screen there, with masonry coming in on the low side at $126,900, $191,850 on the high side for masonry. The windows and doors on the low side is $56,900. The high side was $64,250. There are load-bearing elements that do qualify for grant assistance tonight. No more than 25% of the total project costs, and the load-bearing elements in this case are the floor joists in the first floor space. If you were to tour that building, you get a little bit of this as you kind of walk through it. So that's going to be fixed on the low side of $35,725, and on the high side it was $37,675. And then the awning and sign package qualifies for the grant as well. The low side was $13,647.80, and the high side is $15,194.04. Those numbers add up to the project total that I gave you earlier, which puts them in Category 7. Category 7 is an estimated cost of $200,001 to $250,000. The owner's share is $125,000 in that category. So if you plug in that number, it gives you a leftover amount of $108,172.80, and that is the staff recommendation for the RDC award.
Good deal. Thanks, Derek.
Yep, happy to answer any questions, and the applicant is here tonight to answer any questions that you have for them as well.
Commission, do we have any questions for Derek? Would the applicant care to speak? You're welcome to. You don't have to. Don't worry. Good deal. Perfect. So any questions before we would entertain any motions?
Excellent.
So I would then entertain a motion on the facade grant for 109, 111 North Meridian Street.
I will make the motion to award as recommended by Derek. 108.
Yep. So that would be a recommendation of 108, 172 and 80 cents per staff recommendation, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. So we do have that motion. Yes, that would be a not to exceed. So we do have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify with an aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That motion does carry. I will tell you, I am very excited about this. This has been a building that has needed a lot of love for a number of years. So I'm glad you're embarking on this adventure and glad we can help out in even a small way. So congratulations and look forward to it.
Just to clarify, Mr. Warren, old school would have been handouts run off on a ditto machine. It smelled badly.
Well,
So
I
it's all
almost brought my
perspective
typewriter
when
up
you go
here,
old
but I
school and you got
couldn't.
colored on an overhead. So we'll
Correct,
just
yeah.
clarify that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you
for
for
sure.
the presentation.
I sat in classrooms like that for sure. Yes.
All right.
Work will start. When do you plan to start, gentlemen? When will you start? And
Other than time and the state.
thank you. We appreciate your contribution to downtown.
Next item we have on our agenda is in reference to the 124, 126 North Lebanon Street. And as you guys recall, we are, Ben, do you have some updates for us on that or?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of, because in our RFP, the schedule suggests that we would be making a bid award this evening. We did want to put it on your agenda to follow that schedule. If you recall from our conversation last week, we had 2 bids that we had received, neither of which matched our minimum bid price for the building. Per Indiana code, you need to wait at least 30 days from the opening of those bids before you can consider an award that is less than the minimum bid. And so we happen to be about 27 days from the bid opening. So we would not be able to make an award this evening due to that calendar restriction. So just so you know, we have reached back out to one of our bidders to request additional information from A.T. Shearer. I know they hadn't provided construction cost estimates, so they're working on those. They're actually going to walk through the building on Friday to do that, provide those back to me by first thing Monday morning. So I'll be able to distribute that out to RDC members next Monday. Other than that, we do have all the information necessary. We will be intending to make a recommendation at your next regularly scheduled meeting in December. That's all I have unless there's questions.
No question.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, Ben. So moving on then to letter C, which is our 2025 RDC spending plan. And commissioners, as we have spoken about in the past, so a new legislative agenda item that passed last year requires us to pass a spending plan annually. Ben, do you have a little background for us?
Yeah, so this is a spending plan, not a budget. So it's a little bit different. It's a nuance to that. What we're essentially doing here is identifying any potential expenditures we might see in the 2025 calendar year. The intention is to be very conservative on the high end with these numbers, because if you happen to exceed these numbers, you have to go back. You have to revise your spending plan, get it reapproved by the RDC, and resubmit it to the state. So that what this is looking at here is any potential expenditures we foresee happening in the 2025 calendar year. So I'm actually going to follow Derek's trend and use the overhead as well, since I forgot to bring my computer in here. And so this is the proposed spending plan for 2025 that we did review at your work session last week. Haven't made any changes to it. Let me zoom in a little bit. Maybe it'll show up a little bit better. So what you see here is a template that Baker Tilly was able to get from another community. Again, everybody's doing this from scratch with very little guidance from the state on exactly what format it needs to be in. So they did a little bit of research and found a template that other communities were using and essentially applied it to our expenditures as we see them for 2025. So just to kind of quickly walk through these categories, the first is anticipated debt service. And this is the accumulated total of our debt service for existing bonds we have already outstanding. So that is an exact number. The second one is bond proceeds, lease financing, or anticipated warrant expenses related to any future bond distributions. The third one, this one is one where, as Baker Tilly explained it, if we anticipate having any additional bond issuances, the money we receive from that bond essentially goes into this bucket, and that's what this 20 million is. If we anticipate any new, we will have some TIF bonds next year. Don't have the exact numbers yet, so that 20 million is essentially just a placeholder for any additional bonds that we anticipate for next year, and any proceeds from those bonds fall into that category there. The fourth one, professional expenses, is anticipated legal and financial advisor expenses. Again, we're just kind of estimating a number so that we can stay underneath that umbrella. The next line is grants and contributions, and this would be the facade grant program. I know we typically set aside $250,000 annually for that program. And actually, the way the resolution is just 1.25 over 5 years. So what we did is we put 500,000 rather than 250. We do expect a couple of big projects coming in next year that might exceed that 250. So this would accommodate that without, again, having to go back and amend the spending plan. Operating expenses is related to Gene Haas, and actually a lot, and then educational and training programs is related to the workforce development through the school. So those are our primary expenditures. Other anticipated expenses, that's really, again, just a placeholder for some other expense that we don't foresee right now. Just put it in there in that category, just so we don't have to come back every time we make one of those changes. So this is the proposed spending plan for the 2025 calendar year. If there are any questions about this, I'd be happy to try to answer them. This is something that just requires just a simple approval by the board, and then this would get uploaded to the state's website once it's received approval. So I'd be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Any questions from the commission? Good deal. So I would then entertain a motion on the spending plan.
Accept the spending plan for the Lebanon RDC as submitted.
Got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify with an aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That motion does carry. Thank you very much, commissioners. So that can be uploaded to the state now, and we have fulfilled our duties there. And that takes us forward to letter D on our agenda, which is Resolution 2024-06. And this is a declaratory resolution establishing Project LEAP Phase 1 Economic Development Area. Rob, are we going to read this one in? Jessica Schwartz from the EDC is here with us this evening. Jessica, do you have a few highlights for us?
Good evening, commissioners. For those of you who don't know me, by the way, I'm Jessica Schwartz. I'm our VP of Economic Development with the Boone EDC. Stepping in as we lost Molly on Monday to start our new business. So thanks for having me. This project is simply to establish the economic development area for LEAP Phase 1 for the future build out of future needs. So the economic development area, which will set up for an eventual TIF for the area.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Jessica. Any questions from the commission? All right. So with that, Rob, I think this is going to start your very long evening.
Well, I'll try to hit the highlights. So thank you, Mr. President. Commission, this is, again, a resolution, as Ms. Schwartz indicated, starting up the process for setting up an economic development area. Resolution 2024-06 is, again, a resolution by this commission establishing an economic development area and an allocation area. So we'll refer to these at times, the area as well as EDA. So whereas this commission has thoroughly studied the area of the city as described on Exhibit A and depicted in Exhibit B, that's defined as the area as an economic development area pursuant to Indiana law. There's also an economic development plan that's attached to this resolution as Exhibit C. The commission has caused to be prepared maps and plats showing the boundaries of the area. Again, that's located with various parcels of the property, the streets and alleys, all in Exhibits A and B. The commission has caused to be prepared estimates of the cost of the economic development projects as set forth in the plan in Exhibit C. The commission deems it advisable to apply the provisions of various sections of the statute to the plan and the financing plan. Therefore, be it resolved that the plan for the area promotes significant opportunities for gainful employment of the citizens of the city. It will assist in attracting major new business enterprises to the city. It may result in the retention or expansion of significant business enterprises existing in the boundaries of the city. The plan for the area cannot be achieved by regulatory processes or by ordinary operation of private enterprise without resort to the powers allowed under the act as defined in this resolution. The public health and welfare will be benefited by accomplishment of the plan for the area. The accomplishment of the plan for the area will be a public utility and benefit as measured by the attraction or retention of permanent jobs and increase in the property tax base, improved diversity of economic base and other similar public benefits. The plan, again, is described in Exhibit C for the area, conforms to other development and redevelopment plans for the city. In support of the findings and determinations as set forth above, the commission adopts the specific findings set forth in the plan. The commission finds that no residents of the area will be displaced by any project resulting from the plan. The plan is, in all respects, hereby approved. Secretary of the commission is directed to file a certified copy of the plan with the minutes of this meeting. And this area is designated as an economic development area. Project LEAP Phase 1 Economic Development Area. The entire area is designated as an allocation area pursuant to Indiana law. Again, it'll be described as Project LEAP Phase 1 Economic Development Area. It's a mouthful, and that's an allocation area under Indiana law. The allocation fund for the allocation area is hereby designated as the Project LEAP Phase 1 Allocation Fund. And the base assessment date for the allocation area shall be January 1, 2024. The allocation provisions herein allow the allocation area shall expire on the date that is 25 years after the date on which the first obligation is incurred to pay principal and interest on any bonds or lease rentals that would be payable from tax increment revenues derived from the allocation area. And the commission specifically finds and determines, based upon its review of the area and allocation area, its reasonable expectations relating to expected growth of the assessed value in the area and the allocation, that the adoption of the allocation provisions with respect to the allocation area will result in new property taxes in the area and the allocation area that would not have been generated but for the adoption of these provisions. The provisions of this resolution shall be subject in all respects to Indiana law and any amendments thereto. Any member of the commission is authorized to take such actions as are necessary to implement the purpose of this resolution, and any such action taken prior to here is ratified and approved. This resolution, together with any supporting data and together with the plan, shall be submitted to the City of Lebanon Plan Commission and the Common Council, and if approved by the Plan Commission and the Council, shall be submitted to a public hearing as provided in the Act, after all public notices are adhered to. The Commission also directs the presiding officer to prepare or cause to be prepared a statement disclosing the impact of the allocation area. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption by this Commission.
All right. You did great things there, Rob. Appreciate it. Any questions from the commission? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion on resolution 2024-06.
I move we accept the resolution as read unless we want to have it reread for clarification. Resolution 2024-06.
So we have a motion to approve resolution 2024-06 as read. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. All those in favor, please signify with an aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That motion does carry. Thank you, commissioners, on that one. And we'll move directly on to the next resolution, conveniently numbered 2024-07. And this is an amending declaratory resolution expanding the consolidated economic development area. I'm excited. Jessica.
This is new cold, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm bringing before you this evening the recommended incentive from the Boone EDC for the developer-backed bond of $20.5 million. This evening with us, we have Ted Butler, who came in from Chicago for the day, and he is the incentives manager with New Cold. For those of you who are not familiar with this company, they are located in the Lebanon Business Park. This is now their third phase that they will begin. So the first phase was completed in November of 2022. Second phase expansion just finished October 2024. You may or may not be aware, but cold food storage is actually one of the fastest expanding industries right now in the nation. And so the proposed project is intended to be located at the intersection of Middle Jamestown Road and West 200 South, just south of its existing facility. And New Cold's requested TIP funds through the method of developer-backed bond, which means that New Cold purchases the bond and will be required to pay the debt service for all future debt payment responsibilities. New Cold, with this expansion, anticipates employing an additional 200 to 250 full-time permanent employees at an average hourly wage of $29.33 exclusive of benefits. This is above and beyond the job creation goals set out in the first two projects. The total capital investment with this expansion on behalf of New Cold is close to $1 billion since 2022. And will bring a total of 500 plus new full-time jobs, and they're funding the infrastructure costs such as stormwater, utility, roadway, and water improvements. They are indeed considering locations within and outside of Indiana for this project. For your consideration, the construction start date is 2025-ish. They call it FPI, first pallet in. Close of construction, probably Q1 2027. So I bring this before you for your consideration.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jessica. Any questions from the commission? Mr. Butler, do you have anything to add this evening? No? All right. Very cool. Thank you very much. So just to recap, this phase specifically, we're looking at 1 million square feet. And the estimation just on this portion of the project is 424 million. So pretty expansive project here. So with that. No.
Just one update. We have updated the budget for this project.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So for those folks at home that may not have heard that, so the representative in the room actually just indicated that 424 million has been updated to 475 million as an investment. So very exciting news for us. Thank you very much. Rob, would you like to read us in again?
Thank you, Mr. President, Commission. This is a similar process, what we just read with Phase 1 in LEAP District. The difference being that, as Ms. Schwartz indicated, this is Phase 3 for New Cold. So we've done this 2 other times, and I'll hit the highlights and try not to read everything verbatim as you've received this. So again, Resolution 2024-07 is a resolution of this commission amending the declaratory resolution for the Lebanon Consolidated Economic Development Area, approving a supplemental development plan and establishing an allocation area. As the commission knows, on October 9th of 2017, it adopted an amending declaratory resolution under 2017-05, which did a number of things, including a consolidation of various industrial park development areas. And all of that's defined in this resolution as a consolidated area. It also amended and consolidated the economic development plans. This commission now desires to amend the declaratory resolution and consolidated plan to expand the consolidated area to include the parcels that are identified in Exhibit A, and that's defined as the expansion area, as well as adopt a supplement to the consolidated plan, and that's set forth in Exhibit B, and that's defined as the 2024 plan supplement. This is all going to be defined as the New Cold Phase 3 allocation area. Again, this commission has caused maps and plats showing the boundaries of the expansion area. And it is also caused to be prepared estimates of the costs of economic development projects as set forth in the plan. The 2024 plan supplement and supporting data were reviewed and considered by the commission at this meeting. Therefore, be it resolved that the commission now desires to approve the 2024 amendments. The commission finds that the 2024 amendments will promote significant opportunities for gainful employment of the citizens of the city, will assist in attracting major new business enterprises to the city, and may result in the retention or expansion of significant business enterprises. The 2024 plan supplement for the expanded consolidated area cannot be achieved without resort to the powers under Indiana law because of lack of public improvements, existence of improvements, or conditions that lower the value of the land below or nearby land without the cost of the projects contemplated by the 2024 plan supplement, and the necessity for requiring proper use of land so as best to serve the interests of the city and its citizens. It will be a public utility and benefit as measured by an increase in the property tax base to amend the declaratory resolution in the consolidated plan as provided in the 2024 amendments, and to continue to develop the expanded consolidated area, including New Cold Phase 3 allocation area under Indiana law. The declaratory resolution in the consolidated plan as amended by this resolution conform to the comprehensive plan for the development of the city. 2024 amendments are reasonable and appropriate when considered in relation to the declaratory resolution and consolidated plan. The findings and determinations in this resolution and consolidated plan are hereby affirmed. The entire expansion area, again, is defined as New Cold Phase 3 allocation area. There will also be a New Cold Phase 3 allocation fund, and again, this will have the similar 25-year limitation as we talked about in the prior resolution. This commission specifically finds and determines, based upon its review of the expanded consolidated area and allocation area, its reasonable expectations relating to the expected growth of the assessed value in the expanded consolidated area and allocation area will result in new property taxes in the expanded consolidated area. The provisions of this resolution shall be subject in all respects to Indiana law. And the commission also directs the presiding officers prepare or cause to be prepared a statement disclosing the impact of the allocation area. And this resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption by the commission.
Good deal. Thank you very much, Rob. So resolution 2024-07 is read into the record. Any question from the commission before we would consider a motion? With that, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion to adopt resolution 2024-07.
Yeah, a motion to approve 2024-07. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor, please signify with an aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion does carry. Mr. Butler, thank you very much for joining us this evening. I appreciate it and excited to move forward with Phase 3. All right, so that brings us then to near the bottom of our agenda here. So I believe we all received a copy of the claims. So with that being the last item that I have here before we adjourn, I would entertain a motion to pay our claims.
Make a motion to pay the claims?
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify with an aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion does carry.
Make a motion to adjourn?
We have a motion to adjourn on the table. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify with an aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That carries. The Lebanon Redevelopment Commission is now adjourned. We will see you in December.
It's your